What if I told you some of Hollywood's biggest stars got one of their earliest breaks on this show? And that despite incredible success, it still came to an end. Today we're uncovering the fascinating story of the Twilight Zone. Why creator Rod Serling fought so hard to make it. The famous actors who appeared before they became legends. And the real reasons the original series ended. Some of these stories are inspiring, others are heartbreaking, and a few are downright unbelievable. Stay with me until the end because we'll also look at the show's incredible legacy and why more than 65 years later, people are still talking about the Twilight Zone.
Few television shows have had the impact of the Twilight Zone. Even if you've never watched an episode, you've probably heard someone say, "This feels like the Twilight Zone." That's because the series didn't just entertain audiences. It changed television forever. A writer who refused to stay silent. The story begins with Rod Serling, one of television's most respected writers. During the 1950s, Serling was writing powerful dramas inspired by real-life social issues such as racism, war, prejudice, and government corruption. But television sponsors often forced networks to remove controversial subjects. Serling became increasingly frustrated. He realized that if he disguised these real-world issues as science fiction, fantasy, or horror, network executives were much less likely to censor his stories. Instead of directly talking about prejudice, he could tell the story using aliens. Instead of criticizing war, he could invent a fictional future. It was brilliant. Science fiction became a mask for uncomfortable truths. The birth of a television legend. On October 2nd, 1959, CBS premiered The Twilight Zone. Each episode opened with Rod Serling introducing viewers to another strange story where ordinary people encountered extraordinary situations. The series blended science fiction, fantasy, horror, psychological suspense, moral lessons. Unlike most television of the era, every episode made audiences think. Many ended with unforgettable twists that are still copied today. The show looked bigger than its budget. Although many episodes were filmed on modest budgets, clever lighting, excellent writing, and outstanding performances made the series feel cinematic. Instead of relying on expensive special effects, the show focused on imagination. Sometimes the monster wasn't a creature. It was fear itself. That timeless storytelling is one reason the show continues to attract new generations of fans. Hollywood stars before they were famous. One of the most amazing parts of The Twilight Zone is the number of future stars who appeared on the show. Here are just a few. William Shatner, before commanding the Enterprise in Star Trek, Shatner starred in the unforgettable episode Nightmare at 20,000 Feet. His terrified performance while spotting a mysterious creature on an airplane wing became television history. Robert Redford, long before becoming one of Hollywood's biggest movie stars, Redford appeared as death itself in the emotional episode Nothing in the Dark. Burt Reynolds, before becoming a box office superstar, Reynolds appeared in the episode The Bard. Dennis Hopper, years before Easy Rider, Hopper delivered one of his earliest television performances on the series. Carol Burnett, before becoming one of America's favorite comedians, Burnett appeared in one of the show's memorable episodes. Charles Bronson. Bronson appeared before becoming famous for his action films. Cloris Leachman. Leachman delivered an unforgettable dramatic performance years before becoming a television icon. Elizabeth Montgomery. Before enchanting audiences in Bewitched, Montgomery appeared in one of the show's suspenseful episodes. Martin Landau, another future television legend who made an early appearance. Robert Duvall appeared before becoming one of America's greatest actors. Episodes that changed television. Many classic episodes are still considered among the greatest television ever produced. The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street explored fear and paranoia. Time Enough at Last showed how quickly dreams can become nightmares. Eye of the Beholder delivered one of television's greatest surprise endings. These stories remain just as powerful today because they deal with timeless human emotions. Why did The Twilight Zone end? Surprisingly, the show wasn't canceled because audiences stopped watching. Several factors came together. First, Rod Serling was exhausted. He wrote an astonishing number of episodes himself. The pressure became overwhelming. Second, television production was changing. Budgets were rising. Competition was increasing. CBS also experimented with making the series 1 hour long during its 4th season. Unfortunately, many viewers, and even Serling himself, felt the longer episodes lost the sharp pacing that made the show special. Although the 5th season returned to the original half-hour format, ratings never fully recovered. By 1964, CBS decided not to continue producing new episodes. Serling later admitted he simply had little left to say in the format after years of carrying so much of the creative workload. The legacy lives on. Although the original series lasted only 5 seasons, its influence has never disappeared. It inspired countless television shows, including science fiction anthologies, mystery dramas, and modern psychological thrillers. There have also been multiple revival series and a feature film. Today, many of the original episodes still feel surprisingly modern because they deal with fear, prejudice, loneliness, greed, and hope, subjects that never become outdated. That's why new audiences continue discovering The Twilight Zone every year.
The Twilight Zone wasn't just another television show. It became a mirror reflecting our fears, hopes, and humanity. Many of its stories are just as relevant today as they were in 1959, proving that truly great storytelling never gets old. Which Twilight episode is your favorite? Or if you've never watched the series, which story from today's video surprised you the most? If you enjoyed this journey into television history, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you won't miss future episodes exploring fascinating stories behind the world's greatest TV shows and movies. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.